So what's your name?
My name is Harrison Grant.
What is No Limit Hoopology?
Well, No Limit Hoopology is basically it's the breakdown, study, and detail of every basketball player that displays no limitations on the basketball court. If you have game and you have that passion for the game of basketball, No Limit Hoopology is the place for you. And we don't cater to just Division I or NBA players. See, female players don't get recognition as well, so we thought it would be important to include WNBA, Division I, and also other divisions as well, like Division III, JUCO, overseas. Like, it's important to pay attention to all that type of content because those players put in the same amount of work as the WNBA and NBA players do as well. So that's what it is.
If there's one thing you want to change about scouting from the NBA or the WNBA, what would it be?
Well, one thing I would change about scouting is just leaning on like the smaller things, like lean towards like what the player can develop, and like I wouldn't say give more positive feedback. That's not what I'm saying. And just in terms of like an overall analysis, like be on point as possible when you're doing these analysis, because these are people who are trying to take their career to the next level, to where the best of the best are playing. So you got to be spot on, descriptive as possible when you're describing these players. And that's something that others are teaching me for No Limit Hoopology, is be descriptive and very on point as possible, because these are players' careers who are trying to advance to the highest level. So I would have to say be more descriptive.
How do you commit yourself?
Well, mainly I commit myself just to trust in this process. Like, you have to endure. That's what it's all about. If you want something in this life that you're living right now, you have to endure, keep fighting, and show that perseverance, because there's no handouts in life at all. You understand what I mean? And just committing to your own process in your life. It shows that mental toughness that you have to be successful. Because whoever's successful in this life, they committed to their own process as a human being and a human intellectual as well, which is why they're successful.
Who's your favorite basketball player currently?
Currently and forever, Kevin Durant. That's my guy. Hands down, he got it. That's the truth. And honestly, he's the best player to ever play the game. I know it's going to be some eyes rolled, some eyebrows raised, but that's my guy right there. KD got it, bro.
What made you start No Limit Hoopology?
I would have to say first is just giving back to my people. That's like the one important thing, just giving back to my people, because it's so important to me. Just that, like, the foundation that I'm creating right now is for people to just not benefit, but like carry on my legacy after, like, God forbid if something happened to me, like I left a legacy here on this earth, and that's to really uplift basketball players to their highest potential on the court, and not just on the court, but in life in general. You feel what I mean? Because just being an athlete on and off the court, or even it varies in different sports as well. It's just a matter in which you carry yourself, and that really just got me thinking one day. It's like, I really want to leave an impact on this earth, because basketball is one of the things that I stand for, and not just basketball, but sports in general, because it uplifts society to the highest degree of what we can be.
Where do you see No Limit Hoopology in 5 years?
In a 5-year period, my goal, honestly, is to try to be the best basketball database that has ever been created, and that's to elevate the past generations of basketball and the present generation and the future generations of basketball, just to create a database of all the players who displayed this zero limitations, this phrase that we just been pushing so much. That's clear cut what the representation is all about. Players who really made an impact on the court. That's really what the whole basis of it is, just to build a database. That way somebody in the future could be like, oh, I don't know who Kobe Bryant is. You feel me? Unfortunately, it's gonna be a time period where youngins aren't even gonna know who Kobe is, and then say, like, you go to No Limit Hoopology, and then boom, he's in that archive as one of the greatest players to ever pick up a basketball, and that's going to be so influential in the future when somebody comes up to me probably saying like, oh, like I read like all the information on Kobe on the website, and I just want to say like he was so legendary. That would just mean like the world to me, to know that I could put Kobe's legacy on a website, just to, or not even a website, it could be various other things, a video, just to display Kobe's legacy, just to, for somebody to see all that and get back to me on how they felt about it. That's one of the most legendary feelings that I'm probably ever gonna feel in this life.
Is there any body in your field that you would like to give a spotlight to right now?
Anybody in my field that I like to give a first of all, I gotta give a shout out to Sorry on the Inside. It's just being on that show, just elevating my communication skills. It's really giving me open to like a lot about this YouTube game, and how vocal and receptive you have to be on a lot of things. You feel what I mean? It also teaches me teamwork as well. I gotta give a shout out to Sorry on the Inside. They really been keeping it a buck ever since the day I met them, and they took me in with open arms. You feel what I mean? Like, definitely, like, No Limit Hoopology wouldn't be where it's at without them. Just the feedback that I get from them, and like the tips that I get from them, and like what they also display as well is so helpful in the YouTube game. So I got to give a shout out to them. It's so appreciative.
Is there anything that you would like the people to know about No Limit Hoopology before we go?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what you're gonna get out of No Limit Hoopology is just clear cut, like, the best basketball content like this world has to offer, and we're really trying to put women's hoops on the spotlight, because that's one of our main overall messages of No Limit Hoopology, is to put respect on female hoopers, because trust me, they can hoop too, fellas. Don't be scared now, because females is hooping. It's so many ways that how the WNBA game is changing. We're seeing a hybrid of really different many players. So that's one of our basis of No Limit Hoopology, is to spread the awareness of women's hoops, and also the equality in this world from what we're suffering in racial injustice.